Hey, Gary Korb here. My fan mail question this month comes from Scott in Colorado, who writes, can you tell me how to sharpen an old cigar cutter? My favorite cigar cutter, a double blade model, has gotten so dull it's doing more shredding than cutting. I have other cutters, but this one was a gift from my wife, so it's very sentimental. Since I can't return it to the manufacturer for sharpening, I'd like to try doing it myself. Well, Scott, I've got several cutters of my own. They're getting a bit long in the tooth. Maybe a bit short in the tooth is a better way to put it. But I recently learned how to sharpen my cigar cutter, so watch this. Okay, to get started, you're going to need some tools. You're going to need a rat tail file. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. Some steel wool, some cotton swabs and pads, some alcohol, and some dust off. Here's a cutter that I've had for years. It's kind of sentimental. It means a lot to me. It's a cutter that Alec Bradley did for a party we did many years ago at the Playboy Mansion. That's kind of a fun story. But anyway, you want to clean it first. You always want to have things clean. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean the blades with some Q-tip here that's been dipped in some rubbing alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol is good too. And we just want to make sure we get some dirt off it. I usually leave this one in my car. And you can see a little bit of dirt on there. Yeah, it's kind of nasty. You know, those oils from the tobaccos get on there. And, you know, you don't have to do this part, but I guess, you know, you could if you want to. And that's the main thing. Just make sure it's nice and clean. Okay? And then you want to take a pad here and just kind of, you know, clean it up. Now it looks nice and shiny now. Yeah. So, all right, and now we're going to get into the filing part of it. All right, so let's sharpen our cutter. Now what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have the blades positioned so that the beveled side is facing you first. And I'm going to take the rounded side and I'm going to just use like the edge of it. You want to do it kind of gently. Like everything else when it comes to cigar stuff, you want to be patient. So I'm just going to very gently use this, poke through there. Just real lightly. And you don't want to do it flat against the blade because then you're going to have real problems, right? You want to keep it at an angle. So keep it at a nice angle. You can already see some of the edge starting to shine up a little bit from metal coming off of it. Very, very gently. A little bit at a time. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to turn it around and you want to get the other one. Make sure you have the blade exposed to show most of the blade. All right, a little bit, a little bit. Okay, now you want to take your steel wool, just sort of burnish that a little bit. Do this side now. All right, but now the important part is the other side of the blade, okay? So the flat side right here, saying it's not beveled. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our cutter and turn it to that side. Where is that side? Okay, here it is. All right. This is kind of tough to do. So you want to take the cutter and you're going to expose that side of it, the flat side, right? And then you want to use the flat side of the file. So we get it in nice frame here. And very gently with the flat side, just kind of go over the underside of that bevel side. And that will give you a little bit more of that edge, but very gently, and again at an angle. Now, you know what? If you have a Dremel, you might want to use that. But if you don't, this is the way to go. And I'm feeling it now, and it definitely feels a lot sharper. Yes. Very nice. Yes, much sharper than it was, that's for sure. Okay, so now let's test it out. All right, now you saw me sharpen this cutter. I'm back now down here in my garage, and we're going to really give it a test. Now let's see how it does on the cap, because that's where it really matters, right? So let's see if I can get this position right. And wow, that was nice. Well, I hope Scott's a lot better with tools than I am, but you get the idea. So if you're going to start sharpening your cutters, you know, do so, but practice on a cheapy cutter first like I did. I hope you learned something from this video, and if you like it, then please like it on YouTube. That's it for this month's fan mail. I'm Gary Korb. See you next time, and happy smokes.